Within Moldova, there is a breakaway district called Transnistria. And as I told you, I only heard of Moldova and couldn't point it out to you on a map before, but now I know. But within there, actually it was in 1994, they had a brief civil war, maybe about 500-600 people that were killed in that in a military clash, where Transnistria, which is named after the Dnestru River, which really is the border between the red and white there in the upper left-hand side. They said that they're mostly ethnic Russians, and up until, depending on before 100 to 200 years ago, was not part of Moldova historically. They wanted to break away and become their own country. Really, they want to join Russia is what it comes down to. But this has been a frozen conflict, and those of you that remember the conflict in the late 2000s with Georgia, you'll see down along the bottom there are 5 regions that were considered frozen conflicts with the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Abkhazia and South Ossetia were the 2 regions that Russia, when they invaded Georgia, they said we're trying to look out for the ethnic Russians in Georgia that were being persecuted. Those are in those 2 red regions there. This one here in Azerbaijan is an ethnic dispute between Armenians and Azerbaijanis. In Moldova, it's Transnistria here is really about having ethnic Russians. You've got about 500,000, and it's a mix of ethnic Russians and ethnic Ukrainians, although there are some Moldovans in there as well. At the cessation of hostilities there, they said, okay, they're treated almost like an independent country. They're not recognized by anybody else. I don't even think Russia recognizes them as an independent country, or if they do, there's only like maybe 4 or 5 places that do, but Moldova doesn't realistically rule over Transnistria right now. The concern is that just as Crimea broke away and was annexed by Russia, Transnistria has asked for this a couple of times over the last 2 decades, and they renewed their request to Russia back about 6 weeks ago saying, look, we want you to annex us. So I'll talk a little bit more about this, but for us right now, when EUCOM, who did not have Moldova as one of their high priority targets, and really Ukraine was a sort of a medium priority target out of about the 42 countries that they had to manage, it has escalated by leaps and bounds. Ukraine is probably one of their number 1 or number 2 countries of interest right now for European Command. And Moldova went from being 42nd out of 42 to probably in their top 10, and people are paying attention.